International feature stories. Nashwaan denied Danehill a Group 1 Classic as a 3-year-old en route to winning a derby. He was a great racehorse who is now making a mark as a sire. Matthew Hill takes up the story.
Isn't this a famous piece of turf? The 10 furlongs of the Rolly Mile here at Newmarket. Some great champions have graced this track, Dancing Brave and Nijinsky, just to name a couple. Of course, Nashwaan defeated Danehill here at this very track. Danehill is now Australia's pin-up boy of breeding. Nashwaan is home here in Newmarket at Shadwell's Nunnery Stud.
But Nashwaan pressed on the far side by Danehill. Mark of distinction in the brown colours, Exborn with a white cap. They're inside the final furlong and Nashwaan just has it from Danehill. Exborn finishing strongly, but Nashwaan quickens again inside the final furlong and Nashwaan wins from Exborn Danehill.
He won the 2,000 guineas and he completed a 4-timer of Group 1 races in a very short period of time, because he also won the Eclipse and he won the King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Stakes, which of course is our first big all-age race when the 3-year-olds are pitted against their older rivals to see you know, who are the overall champions.
In a 7-start career, Nashwaan saluted the judge on 6 occasions, including a scintillating effort to win the Derby.
Nashwaan was an outstanding racehorse, and I suppose the highlight was that he was Sheikh Hamdam's first homebred Derby winner, having been bred by Sheikh Hamdam in Kentucky at Shadwell Farm near Lexington.
A furlong and a half to go in the Derby, and Nashwaan has it. Kakamithi's in second place, and back in third is Terrimon, but inside the final furlong, Nashwaan provides an electrifying burst of speed. It's a one-horse race. Willie Carson in the drive position. Nashwaan wins it easily. At the line, Nashwaan is the winner.
He was an outstanding horse, and you know, it was great that Sheikh Hamdam should have bred him, owned him, raced him, and then he should appear here at the Nunnery on a brand new stud. You know, it was as if it had been built for him. Nashwaan is an old-fashioned British thoroughbred. He's quite a big horse. He had the most fantastic stride. He's never had the enormous books that seem to be the norm nowadays, and so it's very difficult to compare him with the likes of Sadler's Wells and some of the other sort of top horses present here in Europe. He probably has not hit the heights in the way that people quite expected him.
Nashwaan's best son, Swain, was a multiple Group 1 winner, overcoming world-class opposition such as Singspiel and Pentire.
They race towards the 3-furlong marker. Alessio's under pressure. Swain has come to tackle him. Singspiel's coming now on the outside. Pilsudski's joining in it too. They're racing now towards the furlong marker, and as they do so, it's Swain over on the far rail. Singspiel coming there. Alessio is beat. Swain is the leader as they race into the closing stages. It's Swain from Pilsudski in second. Singspiel is third. It's Swain holding Pilsudski as they race up towards the line. Swain and Pilsudski in a nail-biting finish. Swain is going to win it, but the line. Swain is the winner. Pilsudski in second. Alessio is...
To date, Nashwaan has sired 23 stakes winners, and in 1998 was named Britain's leading sire by prize money, with top-class mare One So Wonderful being a major contributor.
As they race down into the dip, they're leaving faithfully behind. Mrs. Miniver is staying on, but dueling up front. We've got One So Wonderful, the rail. The grey on the outside is Cool Cat Katie between this pair. Reams of Verse held and one paced in third, with back to fourth faithfully as he races up towards the line. One So Wonderful sticking a neck out. The Wolf Bay just landed. Cool Cat Katie comes back for more on the nod this, but One So Wonderful, Cool Cat Katie.
Some of Nashwaan's other standout performers include Group 1 winners Wandesta, Nadia and Aquarid, plus Group 2 winners Dedina and Al Hayek.
I think it's taken people a little time to realise the sort of mare that best suits Nashwaan. We have now, I think, started to see. I'm very optimistic for this year because I think that we're going to see some 3-year-olds. There were some 2-year-olds last season that looked as though they could develop into nice 3-year-olds, and already he's had some nice maiden winners this early in the season. And I'm hopeful that we could still see. I know he's now 15, 16 years old, but I think we could see the best of Nashwaan yet to come.
Noble Nashwaan, a horse who denied Danehill a 2,000 guineas win. He's based at Nunnery Stud. As mentioned earlier, the Danehill bombshell from an Irish has come down on one of the top stud careers in Australian breeding. Luskin's star was humanely put down at Newhaven Park Stud on Monday, aged 27. His trainer, Max Lees, journeyed to Newhaven a few years ago to catch up with his old champ.
Judging by the instant rapport, you'd never have guessed it's been more than 20 years since this man and horse set eyes on each other. But the bond that unites Newcastle trainer Max Lees with Newhaven sire Luskin Star remains intact. 2 decades since the pair burst onto the scene and took the racing world by storm.
To the lead, but here comes Luskin Star. Luskin Star, the Newcastle colt, went to blazing saddles in one stride. Lloyd Boy starting to run on well, but Luskin Star shot clear. He's a super colt, all right. He's making an absolute mess of them. Luskin Star careered away, and he's won the slipper by about 5 lengths to Lloyd.
Well, I thought he'd win. I didn't know he'd win that easy, but his lead-up races were so good. He was going so well. Like his first start he won the Breeders' Plate by 14 lengths. And he ran it. There was 2 divisions that year, and he ran a 2.5 seconds, I think, faster than the other division. So he was always good. You know, he was always going to be a good horse.
The association began when Luskin Star failed to meet his reserve at Sale. Buyers wary of a slight defect in the yearling's leg.
He was always turned out a little bit in one leg. His offside front was a little bit turned out, and I don't know. Really, he was a lovely horse. You know, lovely colt. But that was the reason, I think, why he was passed in.
Along with local jockey John Wade, the unlikely trio from the Hunter Valley soared to new heights. Luskin Star winning the 2-year-old Triple Crown and justifying the tag of the nation's best ever juvenile.
Luskin Star, however, still about 4 lengths on Balzet. Benson running on, then Caddy, but it is all Luskin Star. Wade riding him hands and heels, Balzet running all over the place, but Luskin Star untroubled. And on the line, Luskin Star 2.5 lengths to Balzet. Now Wade let the champ go, and Luskin Star left them standing. Can he run a mile? He'd run 4 miles, Luskin Star. Look at him go. Hands and heels, this magnificent chestnut colt is careering away, and he wins the Champagne Stakes in a breeze by 5 or 6 lengths. Very close for second, Bowl Zest or Marceau.
Luskin Star continued to shine as a 3-year-old, so much so that he was bought by the Sangsters and passed across to training legend Bart Cummings. That was the last time Max Lee saw the horse until this meeting at Luskin's new home, Newhaven Park. His retirement to stud had caused incredible interest, the popular racehorse becoming a major attraction at Newhaven. It was the start of a long and successful career that's helped establish Newhaven as one of Australia's leading studs.
He's been terrific for us, Jock. He's sort of always been able to get a good horse. His yearlings have always sold well, and he's always covered a full book of mares ever since he's been here, so he's been very good to this family.
And you tell me when visitors come here, they want to see him, but they can remember the Golden Slipper Day.
Yeah, everyone can remember where they were when Luskin Star won the slipper. It was a pretty awesome display.
Luskin Star's impact in the sales ring was just as awesome. This colt from his very first crop topped the Easter sales, when Robert Holmes à Court paid the then record price of $825,000. One of his best horses was Bold Promise. She won almost $2 million and has now produced 3 group winners, Merlene, Miss Penny Money and Compulsion.
A bit under pressure, and Bold Promise gets the upper hand and is starting to draw clear in the last bit. Vionnet sticking on gamely, but Dye's giving this filly a very easy run to the line, and she wins by a length to Vionnet.
Luskin Star has etched his name in the history of Australian racing, and in so doing affected the lives of many people. It's a fact not lost on Max's son Chris, whose present success as a trainer owes a lot to the horse once dubbed the colossal colt from the coalfields.
Oh, I've seen the video plenty of times, Jock, but I can only more or less remember him as a 3-year-old winning at Newcastle, winning the Cameron Handicap, but no, I can't really remember his 2-year-old career.
But it was a big change to your family life, Luskin Star.
I suppose I got to owe him a bit. I might have been just finishing up at the BHP otherwise.
That story done with Chris and Max Lees a few years ago. Luskin Star was suffering winter arthritis when the decision was made to put him down. A great icon he's been, especially now as a broodmare sire. And that's all for now. Due to the Danehill and Luskin Star news, the feature on the Great Storm Cat will be featured next week. And